Hi, I'm Stephen Ham from Archery Supplies, and I want to do a video about making clout prisms and mirrors. The reason I'm doing this video is because they're very hard to source. And when I say very hard to source, these are all made in people's backyards by just an average Joe who wants to make a mirror. Okay? As a result, they're very hard to source because people can't be stuffed to make stuff. Okay, so I'm going to say, look, you may want to complain, but get in and try and make them because it's not easy. It requires lots of work. So I want to talk about the process we're going through, why I'm going through it, and just talk about it, and then show you where we're up to, and then we'll, in a couple of weeks when we have some prototypes out, we'll test them and go through it. So let's just talk about the basics. This is a Champion clout mirror. It's very, very good, right? The things I didn't like about this, it's a very highly polished product. It didn't have micro adjustable up the top here. And the little crosshair in the mirror, I think, is too far up the lens. Okay, and that's etched in, I can't change it. That's it. They're the two things I don't like. The other thing I like would be the ability to fit a scope to it. Okay, so when I'm looking 200 meters away, the object's bigger. I would like that as well. Okay, so that's one. This is another one that was built. It was built by one of my customers. He had the anodized in a whole bunch of different colors. He used a hinge system here. He stuck it on the roof with two-sided tape. Stuck it down the bottom with two-sided tape. Look, he had a spirit level on the bottom. I think we used to sell these for about $50, maybe $60. Sold these. The etching on the mirror was really good. I'd probably like the lines to be bigger, but he doesn't do them anymore. All right, so I sent these all around the world. He made the rods himself, so he used to die them out himself. So he got a rod and then used a die to tap to make the thread himself. That's amazing, but this is what he made. So he had the little thread system here, spring on the back. Look, I thought this was pretty good. I was very happy with it, but I got a whole bunch of complaints from people. They would say, well, look, it's not even. You can probably see at the back. It's not even, and the mirrors are crooked, so when you aim, the arrow shoots left or right. And when I go like this, it probably gets the customer angry. But then I'm like, well, you build something better because this guy's built something and he's probably sold it to me for $40 and I've probably sold it for $60. From memory, that's the price. I don't know how much he sold them to me for, but it would be pretty close to that because I give $6 to the government, so I probably made $10 on each one. So, but this is all I had available, this and the other one. So this is, this is what I had, right? So I can't get these anymore. The other one, I want the micro adjustable and, the line. So hence me trying to make a clout mirror. So let's just discuss it. Right, so these are two which we've made. Right, so aluminium housing to start with. I go down the aluminium shop and I'm like, I need some aluminium housing. He goes, it's not available. And then we walk out the back and there's a piece. And I'm like, well, I'll take that. Some aluminium housing. Then I need this little piece here which we're going to fit a mirror to. So we're going to stick the mirror on with silicone. So I go to my local glass shop and I say, I need some mirrors. I need a crosshair on them. They're like, we can't do the crosshairs. And then I'm like, I'm going to deal with the crosshair problem later. So I get a whole bunch of mirrors made. Okay, so I get 100 mirrors made. Now I've got the problem about how do I fit this to this housing. So this one here we've drilled through. I tried tapping, so I brought some taps. The taps cost $45 and $35. I didn't have much luck tapping for one reason or another. I don't know if it's because the aluminium's soft or whether I'm just incompetent. So I didn't have much luck tapping this, so we basically just drilled it, fitted this, and I think we glued these in. Okay. A little thing on the top here. Now we're in our later model, maybe this one here, which we've just pulled apart. I put a little wing nut so it goes half movements, and it's sitting down. This one here, we got a hinge. So these are 45 mils, 35 mils wide. I got a hinge which is about 35 mils, which fits in there. We tried different glues. So I tried hot melt first off, that didn't work. We tried this expensive silicone glue, and then this is araldite. So we tried araldite to stick it. It seems to stick it pretty good. The bolt we used on the side was from specialty archery bolt, which was pretty good. We've got a bigger hole on the side here so we can bolt it through there. So they're the two designs. So we design it. This is where we're up to at the moment, right? So we design it, and then we go, which one are we going to run with? So then I get the kids to grab it, bolt it on their bow, and they go and shoot it for 100 arrows to see if it falls apart. Okay, because if these little bolts come loose, I want to know about it. If this comes loose, I want to know about it. I want to know how it adjusts and how things move and the issues. Because I don't want to get to a tournament and having made these and watch them fall apart on people, because I'm going to be concentrating on myself. And if things are falling apart, I don't want that in my shoot when I'm making $10 each one, right? So give you a bit of a heads up. We've tapered inside here so the screw sits inside, so that when the mirror sits flat. I'm going to stick the mirrors in with silicone, right? So that's where I'm up to. A couple of designs. We're going to try some other things. Then I have one of my staff is an engineering student, very smart archer. He's worked for me, I think, for 5 years now. seems like 6 months, but I think it's been about 5 years. He started when he was 15, I think, working for me. Anyway, he's into 3D printing, so he's like, well, I'm going to build a click system for this, so it works like a normal sight, and then I'm going to build this, and I'm going to build that, and I'm going to put a spirit level on it, and maybe I'm going to build the whole lot out using a resin printer. And so anyway, so he worked on it today, and he was doing up designs, and off he goes, right? So we'll see what comes out of that. So the things I want to do is put a mirror, I want to put a spirit level on it, and then the next thing I want to do is I want to fit a scope. Right, so this is my idea of a scope. I'm going to build a little bracket which goes on the side here, which bolts on, and it's going to have a thread so you can mount your scope on the front. So the scope will look through this, and then the target will be enlarged. So you'll use your normal setup, normal scope, whichever scope you use, and it'll just bolt on the front. It's just basically a piece of aluminium. So easy. It's going to bolt in the side. I'm going to have some little screws and bolt it on. Now maybe when you're building it with a 3D printer and resin and stuff, you'll have a clip-on system. I don't know. This is where I'm up to. I definitely want a mirror. Yeah, I will say there's a couple of people in Australia who make them, and they kind of just make them for like a couple of their friends, but they're not available commercially. They don't have a website, and I can't source them. So, and they weren't interested in supplying a shop. And I don't understand that. Like, if I made a product, I'd go, well, I'm going to sell that product for $100, and you can sell it for $150 if you want. And then that way I don't have to deal with all the customers. I just deal with one person. Or maybe I deal with 3 people, 3 shops. But I don't understand it, right? And I think the way I probably understand it is they probably have expensive paying jobs, and they just built one for themselves for a hobby, and then other people at the club have gone, hey, can you build me one? So they build one, but they don't want to build like 50, 60 of them, right? So they'll build like 2 or 3, but they don't want to build a whole bunch of them, right? So anyway, that's where we're up to. This system is a lot quicker than the drilling. And I'm going to say that's because we have to make this piece of aluminium fit. So we've got to cut it to size, width and lengthwise. So you're going to put it on a filing thing and cut it to size, where this bit of aluminium fits inside. So, and it doesn't really need to be the correct width. The other thing you could do is you could put a locking system on the side. That would require me to tap it and thread it, and I didn't have any luck tapping and threading, so maybe I did need a different size tap or something, but I had no luck with that. So that's where I am at with Clout mirrors. Now, if we get this off the ground, then we can anodize it. Anodizing is pretty cheap, but the first thing is to get it up and running. Now, why am I doing this? My mum's like, why are you doing this? You've got enough money, you can retire, why are you doing this? Because if you want to shoot Clout, you need one of these. You need a Clout mirror. You can shoot a golf ball on the ground with a little pin on your bottom limb, which is rubbish. You can shoot one of those. Really hard to adjust, really hard to teach people how to do it. We're doing this with Clout is really easy. Bolt this on your bow and go and shoot. Basically, I've got videos on shooting Clout, but this is really easy. And the only way I can get people to shoot Clout is to have these available. And at the moment, the only one I can get is basically that one, which is fine. It just doesn't have the adjustability. And it's a fine product. I saw quite a few of these, right? But if I want like my original Clout mirror like this, then I've got to build it. So that's where I'm up to. So that's building a Clout mirror, and we'll do some videos. So far, how many days am I into building Clout mirrors? I think I've probably invested 3 days. I've brought saw blade for $150. I brought a couple of machines for various prices, $200. Then a bench press and stuff. Anyway, I had to buy some tools, but we're pretty much getting there. We're almost there. I've brought some threads. So that coming from overseas. So we're sort of getting there. We've got to work out this system a bit better, but that's Clout mirrors. I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Thanks for watching. Anyway, that's what goes into building stuff. And if you can build something better, build it and then sell it. Sell it to shops and they will buy it because there's nothing available. So I'm Stephen Hand. Thanks for watching. Bye.